fresh blade. You rotate it. These razors are available on the rojopro.com. Handcrafted wood razor. You place the razor so that the tang, I call that the tang, the little scallop, it's very lightly curved, just kind of sits on the middle finger there, or the long finger. It's now called the long finger. That's what they call that. Do you know that, Kate?
They changed it?
That's what they call it, the long finger.
Mine is so long.
Yeah, let's have a look. Well, you got a long finger.
Oh, it's not called the middle finger anymore?
No, it's not called the middle finger. It's called the long.
Something like that.
It's the long finger.
What a waste of time.
Yeah. Did you give me the long finger? No, I give you the short finger. I think, Kate, you've got coffee on your mask. Does she have coffee on her mask? Can you see that? It's like, yeah, she's got, look, now she's scrushed it up. Oh, that's it. Now we made her so self-conscious. Scoop it in, wiggle your thumb, rotate it, and it's a straight line. I'm covered in cuts and bruises. Look, this is what happens when you do construction.
Oh.
Yes, I got them all everywhere.
That's gnarly.
I got them everywhere. From moving all that Tribeca stuff.
What are you constructing?
We're not quite sure. Success. That's what we're constructing. All right, so I'll spin Finty. Is that right?
Finty.
F-I.
NTY.
Finty. I'll spin Finty this way. So this is a razor layer. The razor's the tool for this. Scissor cutting can be so difficult. So if we cut with a razor, what we can do, we can kind of flow all the way down. So that's the nice thing. And the nice thing is we can flow both sides down.
People are worried about your bruises.
Yeah, don't worry about my bruises. I'll survive. I've never been so smashed up. But that's what happens when you smash up a school that's 13,000 square feet.
Binti, did you have that inspiration picture?
Oh.
Oh,
You want it longer than that, right?
Yeah.
show us the pic.
Let me see.
This is Hydro Mist.
Like this-ish.
This-ish, longer.
But longer.
This-ish,
And
but longer.
I don't know if those layers, if they're too short for me. I don't know if I want them that short.
Leave it to me. I'll make you look good.
do it.
I'm in control. I'm in the driving seat now, Finty. Yeah? Nice coffee stain, Kate. Hydro Mist. It's a nice detangler, and it's a nice lightweight product, and Finty can hold it for me. Give her a job to do.
Okay.
Yeah?
Also good too.
It does.
So we're going to take, she's got a lot of hair, but she's got a lot of fine English hair. Okay, she's got a lot of fine English hair. And she's got a very kind of small, petite cranium. Yeah, she's got a small head, but a big brain.
Huge brain.
Huge brain. And I'm going to, I think your mask, I got your mask. This is what happens in the salon. Do you know that? It happens. I'm sure everyone does it. So just...
What? Oh, the mask.
The
comes off?
mask.
Do you want me to just like hold my mask?
No, you're okay. You're okay. I think, did you twist that side?
I did,
Yeah.
because my face is so small.
Small. Twist this side, small face. Twist it. Because I took it. Yeah, twist it, small face. Thank you.
Someone said the mask is starting to look like dirty diapers as the thing goes on.
Kate's is definitely already a dirty
Try a
diaper.
new mask, I'm serious.
No, she can't cope. She needs a new mask. Just a minute. You have to show everybody. There's your dirty mask. Look, coffee right there. It's
Thank
either
you so
coffee
much. We're gonna
or
do
it's
swap. No, don't talk about it. Stop it.
sniffles.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Do you want me to hold the thing so you can do it?
Yeah.
You feel better now, Kate? Such high maintenance. I'm telling you, these young girls are so high maintenance. She's falling, dropping everything. She's under stress here right now. Ah.
There we go.
Better?
Better.
She feels better.
I
She
feel
looks
amazing. Switch your mask out when you need it, guys.
Yeah.
We're all going through it.
50 cents in the tip jar, please, Kate. Thank you. All right, so let's just keep it clipped. Just keep it nice and clean. Now, when you're working around the mesh, just make sure you pull all the hair out so you can scoop it. This is going to be the shortest piece, okay? So don't worry. You're going to be your shortest piece. You know, when she looked and talked about the layers on the picture, the inspiration picture, You know, she wants to have lightness, but she wants to have length. And if you cut too many layers, it's going to get too thin in the bottom. So that's why the razor is a great tool. And we comb the hair straight down, and literally just around the bottom of the chin, so right there. You're going to start that razor moving, and we're literally going to slight tapping motion. It's like a little piston, just moving the razor up and down. Because the hair's so long, you want to keep the head lightly away from you, because it opens the space. If the head comes this way, there's no space in here. If the head goes lightly that way, just lightly, not so that she'd even feel that her head was slightly off to the side, it just creates a lot more space. And we're just going to run that all the way down using what we call the edge of the blade. When the hair's so long and the hair's so fine, especially as it gets to the end, look how it disappears. Yeah, you see the length, it just disappears. Keep some moisture in it, because when you keep moisture in the hair, when you're cutting with a razor, it's very fluid. If you don't have the moisture in the hair, guess what's going to happen? You're going to rip the hair. And we've taken a little bit of length off here, but you can see how fine that hair was. Yeah, so it's more shape here and more length through the back. Section 1, it's quite a thick section. We've got to establish our guide. So section 2, I want to keep it just a little skinnier as I slowly work to her existing length. And again, the Hydro Mist, it's a great product because it just adds softness and it adds shine with the glycerin within the product conditions, and it will make it's great use as a cutting lotion when you're creating your shapes. Plus it also introduces your clients into hair products. And right now, if there was ever a time that you need to maximize the client that sits in your chair, now is the time. And what that means is every client's way more valuable than of their perceived value before. Because in my salon, when we see clients, we're selling color kits, we're selling products. Because who knows, just like in the crazy state of California, when the government decides to shut us down again, and they can. And talking of California, we really need to talk a lot about that, because we are being held unfairly accountable for something that we are not even adding to. With the amount of protection that what me and Minty have right here, mask, face, shield, the glasses, the wraparounds, the cape, the apron, nothing bad's happening here. And this chair will not be sat in by anybody else until it's been sanitized. And we have our sanitizer sprays throughout the salon, and our barbicides, and our hand sanitizer, you name it, we got it. And we even have a new mask for Kate when she tries drinking coffee through the mask. So section 3, notice I'm not going this way. The key here is to come down and around. And you'll start to, it's hard to see the guide. If I lift the hair out this way, you'll see the guide. Right there. You see it fall away? But I'm cutting the hair down, because if I comb it forward, I'll cut this hair shorter. So by holding it down, I'll keep some length. Because what I'm thinking is I'm trying to keep the weight throughout the bottom. And she's got beautiful natural texture. I'm not scared of this fine hair. I'm encouraged by it. She's got a nice amount of hair. It's going to fill out. You'll be surprised how heavy this hair actually is. European hair like this, it's very fine, but she's got like a tinge of redness to it. She's got like a little warmth to it. And redheads usually have the thickest hair. They usually have the most hair. So she's like the English rose.
Such an English rose.
She's such an English rose. And what kind of flower is Kate?
Sunflower.
She's a sunflower. She's an American. Where are you from?
Ohio.
She's an Ohioan sunflower. Look at how low I keep the hair. Look how low I keep my hand. Nice and low. You can see, and I'm cutting the length last because I'm going to keep it as long as we can. As long as makes sense, and I'm actually cutting to a pre-existing length. I don't think I've cut hair this long for a long time. I think I've had the word long in a sentence as much in a long time. I've never cut long hair like this in a long time, and it's so long. And
with your long finger.
With my long finger, and the word of the day is long. Yes. So now you're going to notice my sections are I'm going to move less further back this way, and I'm going to start to pivot around this way. Because this is the hair I want to affect. So I'm going to move a little less here, so take smaller sections, where my sections are going to get wider so I can wrap around the head shape. And I'm now going to start to elevate. So again, you got to have what I like to refer to, I call it muscle memory. Muscle memory is remembering where you were. So you have to simulate, visualize, you have to remember kind of, if I was here last time, I'm here this time, maybe next time. So you're always thinking in like consistency. You don't want to go from here to here. You got to be consistent with how you map yourself around the head. And also, you know, just keep that slightly off to the side. You're in control of your client. Yeah, we get clients that have that sit really well, and we get clients that don't sit really well. Yeah, Finty's fantastic, but you've got to make sure that you're in control of your client. So if you are positioning your client, use a gentle touch. Don't push. Just use a gentle but firm touch so that the client knows exactly where you want them to be positioned. And if you are suffering or struggling with a client that can't keep a head still, hold the head for a second, just gently. And that just helps to calm everything down. Fine teeth of the comb, right in at the root. Comb the hair through, get the blade moving, and just melt that hair away. This hand is sliding down as I go. And in here, you can grab the hair to make sure you get right in at the base, right in. Fine teeth gets nice even tension. It's a plane of hair. This is the razor comb, and the razor comb is it's very important for cutting with a razor. What I like about this comb is the teeth are very precise, but they're not sharp. And this is an Arrojo comb that you can get on our site, arrojopro.com. So notice again, just not moving too far, but moving a bit further. So my sections are starting to rotate around the back of the head. Today is August, what's the date today? The 6th?
6.
August the 6th. Now, typically speaking, in New York City, the summer is the quietest time of the year. So we've now got a place where, while we're open in one location, which is our Williamsburg location, which is right here, the city's quieter because it's always quieter in the summer. The city's quieter because of the riots and the pandemic. A lot of people have moved out. The city's quieter because I think they're maximizing the last few weeks of August, and then what's going to happen is hopefully we'll start to see a bit more of an uptick as we move into September. So as a hairdresser, it's very important to stay super focused on promoting yourself at this time so you can build your business. Look at how far away from the head I am. So 7 inches, there's 21 inches just right here. I got to be careful that I don't let it get too long. As in, I want to make sure I get enough action in the layers. So I'm going to start to elevate it a little bit more. I'm also going to do this. I'm going to use my hydraulic chair, drop it down a little. It's a massive tool. The hydraulic chair is a great tool for continued success. Now, we used to do Brooklyn Live and we were never open. When we did Brooklyn Live, we were always closed, but in our new world, we're open. We're open for business. So you'll see clients coming in. The changing room has been resigned. No more changing room in my salons. No more gowns in my salons. You just get a one-wear cape. This cape here. They're fresh. They're at the door, folded, washed, laundered. So everyone gets a fresh cape. So when a client walks in, they get greeted by the front desk. They're instructed to go and wash their hands. We have a sink. They go wash their hands. They come back to the desk. Then the stylist takes them directly to the chair. We don't have a car park here. This is not that kind of place where you can sit in your car and wait. Half the people don't even have cars. So then they sit in there, they go to the chair, the stylist wraps them up, they take them to the backwash, they wash their hair at the backwash. After they've done the consultation, they send the client back to the chair, while the stylist then cleans the chair, the backwash seat. Then the stylist goes to the chair, does the service, performs the service, and after the service is finished, then the stylist will escort the client to the front, and then they'll go back and they'll clean the chair and get that chair ready for the next client. Simple, clean, and it's a process. It's just a better procedure. So it doesn't interfere. It actually simplifies everything and creates that level of sanitation that we need. So now I'm starting to elevate even higher. I don't want the hair to be sopping wet, because when the hair's sopping wet, you've no idea what the texture is going to be. And you'll notice I'm going to move around, and thankfully we've got about 16 feet on our microphone, because I got to move around this chair. My feet have to move through the whole haircut. So the gyms may be closed, but I'm doing workouts by the chair. Great, and Jeannie, nice to hear from you, and keep posting on Instagram. I love seeing your pictures of you and your hubby. So look, practice really nice combing, nice and clean, and you're looking for that line there. You've got like a nice engagement with the hair as we're kind of sketching the shape in. We like to say that we're sketching the shape in. We're putting in a little bit of sculpture. Look how long the layers are here. This layer, I think it might be too long, but that's okay. It's safety first. And if you look at the shortest layer, so we went from the shortest layer to the longest layer. Maximum shape around the face, and then cascading layers.
Are you keeping up with the guide during a cut like this?
I sure am. Everything's on a guide. This is not a free-for-all, or it's not a free-form. It's a guide, and I'm thinking about the expanded shape. You'll notice right now, look where I am. Just let me keep it nice and clean. Cut hair, not corners, guys. That's one of our Rojo catchphrases. Cut hair, not corners. Keep the sections nice and clean, and you'll notice I'm right in the center back. So I've literally cut the outline of the interior shape of one side entirely. Doesn't mean to say I'm finished yet, but I'm following the guide. There's the guide. There's a guide there. So last night I was on Nick at 9. I started my Nick at 9. If you want to know what Nick at 9 is, it's a 1-hour Instagram chat conversation. I call it Nick at 9 because I like the catchphrase. It's going to be 9 o'clock every Tuesday. Was an idea that I had many moons ago. I kick-started it during the shutdown. I was very vocal, and then I've been through so much change when I reopened my business, because I own my business, and that means I own it entirely. So I'm in charge of, I oversee everything from the financial aspect right the way through to what happens on the shop floor. And remember, I don't just have one business. I have my schools, or school now. I used to have two. Now, because of the pandemic, I'm down to one. And I have 2 salons. I used to be at 3 salons. It's all to do with the pandemic, trying to make the right decisions so you can keep your business fluid. Everyone's been affected, some more than others. So last night we had, it's still on my Instagram feed if you want to check it out. We had some really great guests and we spoke about the tragedy of California being in lockdown again. And we're going to be talking again on Tuesday. We have some great guests lined up from California because we're going to push that narrative as much as possible. So we have to get the salons open and we have to start making it, and everybody in the country needs to be focused on this, because my feeling is it doesn't make any sense, so there's got to be an ulterior motive. And my ulterior motive, the only thing that I can think of would be keep everything shut down so you can have a mail-in election. But we'll see what happens. I'm just going through this one more time.
Okay, they want to see how far we live before razoring, so let me back up.
Yeah, it's kind of hard, yeah, because it's so long. Because I'm like literally 33 feet away from my client. Right here, razor move in, melt that hair, a little bit of splicing there. We like to call it taper. I'm going to put more layers in it, but that was a great start. So now we've kind of layered one side. We've got some big bits of hair that we cut, and now we're going to do the other side. Now it's important because when the head's small, you don't have as much space. So you really got to push that hair back and start to see what is actually happening. If I can spin around so I can see what's actually happening right here. And then this is the side that's cut. This is the side that's not cut. So straight away you can see short layer right here, all cascading through. Not worried about the length. You have to bring some of the length up. When it's too long, it makes you look shorter because you lose your back. Yeah, so when it's too long, the proportion's not right.
Yeah,
but
it looks silly.
she looks silly. But when was your last haircut?
A year and a half ago.
Yeah, she's high maintenance. She's very high maintenance. I'm going to put this right here on my station.
Oh, I didn't even
You see that?
Sorry about that.
That's okay. We'll forgive you. Just this once. Oh, I'm on a cord. I forgot. I'm on a microphone cord. We're on a tight budget. We couldn't afford to get the wireless one. Is that right, Kate? So now I'll damp this side down. And then I'm going to damp this side down a little too, because when the hair's damp, it's easier to cut and it stretches, so I need to see the other side because that's going to be my guide. If you just cast the camera over there, you see that blue line?
Yes.
And if anyone can see that blue line, can you see it? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to put, that's going to be our studio for the future. We're going to set that up. So hopefully by the end of September, we're going to be doing a lot of virtual online education for our schools, for schools across the country, advanced. Today when I go back to Soho, I'm going to be discussing setting up our first virtual American Wave certification. So that's what we're going to be planning today. So look for that, and I would say that's going to be sometime in September. So there's the first section again, exactly the same. Kind of a thick section here. You can pinch just a little bit from the opposite side. Just pinch a little bit. I'm not worried about the balance. It's so long and it's kind of disheveled, and she's young and she's cute, so it's not like I've got to make this like, it's not like this piece and this piece and this piece. It's got to look balanced. It's got to have the right proportion, but I'm not going to be checking piece to piece. Yeah, it's not that type of a shape, not that type of a cut. So I just pinch that piece over. On this side, I use the heel of the blade. And notice, here's the benefit with a razor. I cut down this way, and I cut down this way. So down and down. It's a much more comfortable, ergonomic feel. And I first started razor cutting in the early 90s when I left Vidal Sassoon. Vidal Sassoon in England, I was a scissor only guy. And when I kind of left Vidal Sassoon, I went to work for a colour company. I went to work for Weller in England. And, you know, when you've been told not to do something, then guess what? That's what you're supposed to do. Yeah? You always do the opposite. So I was saying the other day in my staff room, I said, I looked at the lockers and I said, God, look at all these lockers covered in other people's stickers, you know? And I remember saying years ago, don't put any stickers on it. It was like basically, when I say don't put stickers on, it means put stickers on. When someone tells you you can't cut hair with anything but a scissor, the first thing you want to do is to revolt and try something. So razor cutting was something that was new to me. And I started it in the early 90s. And the reason I started razor cutting was because the shapes, there was an undone movement, of hair that was like carefree, natural, livable. It wasn't so graphic. The 80s were very graphic, very geometric. And when the 90s came around, it was all undone and very casual. And it takes a lot of work to make that happen. It's not as easy as you think. And to me, I felt like the razor was a tool that could help me work on that type of a finish. And then I came. So I started doing razor cutting in England. And then I came to America to work for a company called Bumble & Bumble sponsored me. They brought me to the States in 1994. And they were also known for razor cutting, but their razor cutting was a little bit more like this. I'll show you because I worked there. It's more of a stiff arm. So notice the difference. Not wrong, but the whole arm's moving as opposed to the fingers. So the fingers is something that I've really evolved. And the reason why I like it is because it just feels, for me, it feels very refined. So I think that's that precision-based kind of concept. It has that refinement that I like. Bonjour. It's our new colorist, Lucy, from Paris. We're so international here. We've got French, we've got American, we've got Australian, and we've got English.
Mike Turpin wants to know, how do you deal with extremely easily tangled hair, even when using the correct products? I hope you find tangled hair when combining a tender scalp.
Okay, so this is, guys, I'll walk gently over here. This one here is my miracle for anybody that's got hair. It's a defrizz serum. It's a styling product, but if you put a defrizz serum into heavily tangled hair, it'll collapse it completely. We call that a high-grade silicone. It's $20. It's a brilliant product for compressing hair. It's great for ethnic hair if you want to make it straight. Flattens the cuticle, prevents static, tames frizz. Don't put it onto dry hair. It'll gather dirt. You blow dry that in. But if you put it in if her hair was really badly tangled, I'd put this in so I could comb it through. I comb through the detangling brush first, just to kind of get it prepped. And then after I've gone through the detangling brush, I go straight in with my wide teeth comb. And then next I go through my fine teeth comb. And you always comb from ends to roots. You don't comb from the top down, you comb from the bottom up. Because you're freeing the tangles, you're freeing the tangles, you're freeing the tangles. If you go this way, you're just pushing the tangles down into more tangles. And this is the kind of hair that tangles just by looking at it. If you look at it, it just tangles. Yeah? But layering it is going to stop it from tangling, because this hair now can't tangle into here. It's too short. So this is going to be a great cut. Keep your clips, keep it nice and clean, keep a nice clean section, make sure you can see your section. Notice how I can see my section right here. I'm not allowing this to get baggy. I want to keep it nice and tight. That's why I love these clips, because they're strong, powerful, but easy for me to squeeze. And you know that this hydro mist is doing good because this bottle's almost done. It's a nice, look at the nice lightweight mist. It doesn't wet the hair, doesn't wet the client. The fragrance is linden blossom. So now I'm here. This is section 3. I can see the guide. It's kind of like right in here. I have to comb it so you can maybe see it. It's right there. Fine teeth of the comb. I'm sitting on the corner where the handle of the chair is. I'm kind of not on the side and I'm not in the front. I'm literally at a 45-degree angle to my client. Head slightly over. Creates that space. Fine teeth of the comb. It's where you comb the hair before you cut it. That's what I'm thinking. Where do I comb it? The good news is, if I drop a comb, I got a fresh one ready. Using more the back or the heel of the comb, of the razor, sorry. And we're just literally tapering the ends to lighten the load. By section 3, I'll do a little check-in. What I mean by that is, check into the other side. I have a look and see how balanced the shape is. Work meticulously, practice your combing every day. The person that looks at you the most when you're doing your haircut's your client. Yeah, the sooner she feels that you're in control and she feels confident about what you're doing, then you're in a much better place to build a better relationship with the client, and the relationship is the most important thing. Not just the haircut, it's not just the color. Build a good relationship and you'll succeed. So here's the check-in. I just take a section roughly the same, the opposite side. I drag the hair forward, and you can see here, it's slightly longer. So when I pull this forward and I pull this side forward, we're slightly longer. That's the check-in. So the nice thing is, if this side was longer, I'd be in trouble, because I can always cut a ½ inch off this to bring it up to speed. But if this side was short, I have to recut this side. If this side was longer, I have to recut this side. This side's cut for the most part. So I'm going to go through again. I'm just going to take about a ½ to an inch off. And you know what? This is what I like to refer to as my general shape. That's the first thing I want to do, is get the general shape in there. So this is kind of like the outline. If you was a sculptor and you was going to do a sculpture of the human form, the first thing you'd do is you'd knock down this, out of the marble or out of the stone, your rough outline. You wouldn't do detail. You wouldn't go and say, oh, let me just put the eye in and make the eye perfect before I do the rest of the face or the rest of the body. It's the same thing when you're doing this kind of a haircut. You put your general shape in. Then once you've got your general shape in, your balance and your proportion, then you actually start to go in there with your detail. And then you start to get more involved in the overall look of the shape and how it interacts with the features of the mask. We used to say the features of the face, but now we got to do the features of the mask. So I'm going to be on the behind the chair. Mary Rector called me the other day. She invited me to be part of her BTC show, part of the business panel, talking about how the pandemic has affected the hair business and continues to. I'm probably talking about what we're planning to do to kind of deal with that and still stay successful. So that's 2 days. I think it's a Sunday, Monday show. I think it's the 23rd, 24th. And we'd love you to be a part of that. So check it out. It's on the Behind the Chair Awards, I think.
Lots of
Oh, well, I want them to be open. We need to get you guys open. That's what we need to do. We got to fight for the right to
Cut hair.
That's right. And who did that song? Ah, okay, you're pretty good for a coffee, for a mask, a coffee drinking mask crusader. Nice and clean. Keep it nice and clean. You got a nice flat plane. When you use the fine teeth of the comb, you get the perfect plane. Watch what happens if I do the wide teeth. You get the grooves. You don't want the grooves because when the razor goes to the space, it just moves a little bit faster. So if you get it so that it's more smooth and flat like a panel as opposed to lots and lots of little pieces, then what happens is you get a better connection. And on this side we say use the back of the blade so the razor's away. Back, front on this side, back on this side. Slight rotation. It's very ergonomic and very comfortable when you're actually doing this type of work with the razor. I'm working all the way to the pretty much her existing length. Yeah, because her existing length is right here.
Can you put the back here?
Nope. I've rotated round and cut the interior. There's going to be more stuff to do. I've not touched the length. I'll do the length in a bit. Put your general shape in first. So the first thing is the layers. The reason why I didn't cut the length first is because I'm just going to keep it as long as we can, while still, so I cut the length last. Once I put the shape in, I cut it to the sweet spot, like the thickest spot. And then I'm going to go back in, I'm going to detail and start maybe doing some of the thing that Kate likes, which is the channeling. You know Kate now, don't you?
Ooh.
She knows the terms. So my cosmetology school reopens on the 17th of August. We're super excited. We have been doing distance learning for the last 3 months. So we've been teaching, you know, the curriculum for both barbering, cosmetology, and aesthetics. And now we're going to open the facility, the Soho facility, and we're going to start that in-person learning, which will be fantastic. And, you know, again, we've got this new world that we live in. So we've got to practice, you know, just real good sanitation and be respectful. If everybody respects it, then you win. If people don't respect it, you don't win. So our job is to have everybody respect it and to make sure that we do. And I think once, just like in my salon, once you get back into business and you know the rules, you know how to operate, then you can get focused on trying to earn that living so you can live and get back to doing what you love. Even if it tangles, don't yank it too much, just gently. Back of the blade. Notice, nothing moves, not this, just this. And I can grab the hair like this. And I go right the way through. Very important, run it all the way through. You get clients in this industry by doing good work and by being nice with your clients, and also asking for business. You build we're in the reputation business. So I'm just doing another little run through with my hands. Just having a feel. Keep your client clean too. 2 more sections. There's one. And we're going to meet in the center back. Elevate it all the way up. Look at this. I can feel it, and you can see that. You should be able to see that. Can you see that, Kate? Is that easy to see? You can see your line. It's like a blurred line. You know I want it. Spin it all the way through. So I have clients today here in Williamsburg, and I'll be heading back to Soho this afternoon, and then tomorrow and Saturday clients all day. The salon here is open 7 days a week. We reopen our Soho location on August the 24th to get ready for those parents that will be coming back to the city as the schools start to reopen. And I do think it's important to play your part in trying to bring some life back to a city that's been badly and adversely affected due to the pandemic. There was a time that Kate couldn't go on the subway. Remember that, Kate?
I do.
And now what happens? Do you go on it now?
I take it now and it's not even crowded. There's no one on it.
No one on it. There's a few crazy people though, isn't there?
There are a few
A few crazies. They were always there, but now you can see them. Yeah. There's nowhere to hide. Are you doing okay under there?
Yeah, feels so much better already.
Good.
A weight has been lifted.
A weight has been lifted. Don't worry. I can't wait. I'm sure your grandmother's enjoying watching you in Australia.
All the way from Australia.
Yeah, they got some shrimp on the barbie, and they're all around wishing, look, she's got a bloody haircut, mate. Fantastic. Was that Sophie from Australia?
Yeah, from Brisbane.
Brisbane. Oh, that's right. Last week she was from Brisbane.
So.
And you're from where?
England.
Whereabouts in England? That's what I mean.
Oh, Reading.
Now, what's Reading famous for? Apart from you?
Not its football club.
Not its football club.
There's a festival.
And what happens in the festival?
So it's a rock festival, apparently.
It's a rock festival. Does it have a name?
It's called Reading Festival.
Wow.
Yeah, they're very
Who thought up that name?
Yeah. So it's Reading and Leeds Festival. It's the same festival.
Is Reading near Leeds?
No.
No.
But it's
So how does Leeds get involved in Reading's festival?
so I think it's the same festival, but Reading has it the weekend before. Something like that.
Ah.
So then, yeah. I don't know how far away Leeds is actually from Reading. Probably a few hours.
How far is Reading from London? I've been to Reading.
Reading's about an hour south.
No, is it further down?
Yeah.
Is it below London or is it to the west?
It's to the west, below west.
Below west.
Yeah. So it takes like half an hour on the train.
Gotcha.
Reading actually has a really great train station.
Does it?
Yeah.
Is it clean?
It's all new. Probably the best bit about Reading.
Is the train station?
Yeah.
So definitely everybody
Visit, guys.
go to Reading.
Definitely want to visit.
Okay, I'm looking at the hair now. See, this layer here ends up here. See that? So once you push the hair back, this ends up here. I'm looking at the length, and it looks pretty healthy. We're going to take a little bit off that so that she's got a little bit more shape from a visual perspective. I'm dousing it in hydro mist. Can't put too much of this in. Using this as my water spray. I'm going to layer it from the inside now. Then I'll do the outline, and then I'll also be doing some piecing out, because only for Kate, because she likes that, because it gives her something good to Instagram.
I love this hydro mist stuff.
You like it, yeah?
Yeah.
So now we'll split it right in the center, and we're going to pull all the hair back to me, and that's going to enable me to get a little bit more in here. So don't worry about the front, because I kind of like what's happening around here. This looks pretty. See the way this cascades? Can you see that, Kate? The way this
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
all
that's starting to
cascades. This is starting to look pretty good. But I'm not just cutting the front, I've got to cut the whole thing, so I've got to stay focused on all of it. But I've got my guide in. In other words, the shape's done. I've managed to work to the pre-existing length. I don't have to worry about that now. I know what I've got. I'm going to drop the chair down so I can maneuver. So I want to take more out. Straight back. Lifting a little, not lifting up, but a little elevation so it doesn't all crush together. I don't want to crush it all together. It's going to be hard to cut. So you kind of keep it spaced out but comb it back. And then in here, I'm going to do this. A little shorter. I'm going to take out what I like to refer to as the corner. So this is, I'm going to put some shorter length through the back. So again, really practice great comb work, and you practice great comb work every day when you're in the salon. And this finger's sliding all the time. Fine tooth of the comb, all the way through, blade moving, and the length's fallen out. See that? The length's fallen out, so I'm not taking anything off the length. I'm just putting a bit more action in through the back. Is your hair coloured?
No.
You ever had it coloured?
No.
You don't like colour?
I've always wanted to have it a bit darker.
Yeah.
Like, kind of how it is when it's wet.
Oh, you like it
But
darker?
I've always been scared that I wouldn't get my colour back.
You've been scared.
Yeah. Would I get my colour back?
You get your colour back. You know what you should do?
What?
You should maybe make it darker
Yeah.
with a demi-permanent colour
Right.
and kind of shadow the interior and the top, but still let it a little light around the edges, natural.
Ah.
That might be a really pretty way to colour it.
Yes, I never had it done.
And in a weird way, guys, I'll tell you, I'm really getting into hair colour. In a weird way, I don't know what it is. I think it must be, you know, I've had this twice in my career. When I left Vidal Sassoon originally, I was trained purely as a cutter. When I left Vidal Sassoon, I said I went to work in England. I moved to London. I was from Manchester, and moved to London, and I went to work for Weller, and they trained me as a colorist because I really wanted to be more knowledgeable about hair color, and I wanted to break out of my box that I'd put myself in for the first 10 years of my career. And then I moved to America, and I got focused in on cutting again, working for Bumble as the education director. And then I opened up my own business. It's an Aveda salon. And after I opened up my own business, it was a partnership business. I broke free of the partnership and went solo and started a Rojo. It was in 2001. In 2002, I got lucky enough to get signed up to a TV show called What Not to Wear. And in America, the hairdresser had to do the cut and the color, so I started coloring hair on TV. It was kind of really funny. I would get people saying, "Oh, can you color my hair?" Kate, I just got the feeling it's going to happen. Sometimes you know when it's time to do it. What this does is it keeps the integrity of the shape, but it creates some space. So I still got the length that I cut, but it just creates some space just to give me a little bit more action through the back of the head.
Deborah wants to know what demi color you would use.
Well, you know, Dear Richesse is what we use now. We work exclusively at this time with L'Oreal Color. That was a move that I did in 2019. And before that was with Goldwell. I was with Goldwell for a good 10 years. But the relationship with Goldwell and Rojo was fading. There was not as much love as I'd hoped from the hierarchy. So then I decided that like everybody, we all want to be loved. You want to be loved, Kate?
You'd do.
You do?
We all do.
Yeah? How's the love life?
Not online.
Not online. Hey, you're putting it out every day. What are you talking about? Not on live.
Donna says, I love color and cutting. Plus, I'm a control freak, so I have to do both.
Yeah, so to be honest with you, I'm getting a little bit more excited by it. And I'm making up color kits for my clients. So that's fun too. So, I don't know. Well, maybe we'll see. We'll do some color at some point for the fun of it. I'll come this way through the mounds of hair. And I got to spin around. Because we did this side. So this side we combed in this way. And now this side we're going to comb in this way. And I remembered I put a little bit of pieciness in. And I'll be doing that again when I come to the same spot on the opposite side of the head. So now I'm picking up and combing in, and I'm cutting to a guide that's there. Remember, I called this cutting off the corner, and there's the corner.
Yes, Sheila, the razor is available on arojopro.com.
There's two types of razor. Actually, there's three types of razor. There's the classic Arojo Red, which is the plastic. It's like a very high grade plastic, beautiful razor. Comes in red. Red's my signature color. And then this one I'm using is the handcrafted wood razor. More expensive, but actually more ergonomical. You know, it's easier to hold and more unique. And we have 7 different types of wood. You can check them out. And then the other razor that we use is the razor we give to the beginners of razor cutting. Because this razor, all of our razors come with a guard, but we also have what we call the styling razor that actually takes the guarded blades. So there's plenty to choose from. And the razor is a phenomenal tool. First learn how to cut hair with a scissor, then learn how to cut hair with a razor. First learn how to foil colored hair, then learn how to paint hair color. It's like, that's the way I like to teach and train. Learn the classics, the fundamentals, before you go on to the advanced. You can't rush that neither. In this new world, you've got to think not just about what the world's going to be like in 6 months. We know what we're living in right now. We're living in a place where hairdressing's going underground a little. We're living in a place where brands are actually collapsing. Salon brands are collapsing because of the pandemic, and they're not allowed to reopen. You can't sustain a business if you have no revenue. And then who's doing the training? Cosmetology school will only take you so far. You need to tap up your education, and tapping up your education is very difficult when you're just watching. You need that personal education. One of the things that we're going to really focus on, once I get my stage in there, is we're going to develop what we call a training program for all salons across America. And we can actually set up and instigate a proper training program so that you can have a training program for your apprentices in both cut and color. And of course, because we're in the product game, we sell products for those salons that are connected to the Arojo product club. It's called the Ambassador Program. They're going to get a better incentive on education, but we'll make our education available for everybody, because I'm not into being exclusive. I'm really into being inclusive. Lifting. Now I'm going to just do a little check. I use my grabbers to check, these fingers here. And I grab it and I pull it. And I was talking too much. Just went a little long here. That's what I felt. That's what happens when you're, demonstrating. It's not as, you got to learn how to talk, cut, educate, communicate, engage. It's a process. And we're rebuilding our cutting team. We're rebuilding our color team. I've got some great new hires joining the club. And we're excited for Arojo. I like to call it 2.0. Yeah, because after the virus, the pandemic began, it's like a new beginning. It's a second time. So there you go, just a little bit more short action in between. Now she has a gallon of hair here, very, very thick, right in here, and for such a small head, yeah? So learn how to just, you can see the layers cascade down. Not cut the length yet. I'm going to come to the front. How are we doing on time, Kate?
What time is it?
What time is it? What time is it?
my phone.
There you go, got your phone. Oh, 10:49. Got 10 minutes. Got a client in at 11. So now, a little bit of aqua libra. I'm going to come from the front, chop in a little bit, and then we're going to clean the back up with a scissor. And then it's time for us to kind of put a little bit of finishing in there. So right now, just going to add in a little bit of texture with the blade. Nice chunky sections. Comb the hair forward. Just using water here just to smooth it out. So don't forget, every Tuesday night now, 9 o'clock, Nick at 9. Interviewing, conversations with salon owners, hairdressers across America. Creating awareness and conversation so we can all learn together. And then every Thursday we have our Brooklyn Live, which we film here in our Williamsburg location. A lot's changed. We had such a big calendar this year of events, starting at the beginning of the year with like probably 40 different educational experiences. Due to the pandemic, we have to postpone a lot. But now we're going to slowly start to push back and rebuild our educational roster. Because we're not just doing education, we're running salons, we're running schools, we're running products. So not only do we offer the educational stuff, but we're super busy just running a regular business and trying to navigate a regular business, which I think gives us an added advantage, because we're running a business and we're dealing with a team and we're learning every day. So again, just a little bit more action in here. Pace, space. It must feel a lot lighter.
It really does.
Yeah?
I feel like I have nothing on my head anymore.
She's got nothing on her head no more. She's a baldy. Keep those channels. You want to make them so that they're quite chunky. Just creates that freedom, that looseness. And even though I wet the hair to cut it, I don't over wet the hair, because I want to let the hair needs to talk to me. It needs to show me and tell me what it wants to do. Okay. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put my razor down, and I'm going to go in there with my scissor. So we also have scissors. These are the Arrojo B Max shears. Again, available on Arrojo Pro. We built everything as our brand. You know what? Mindy, do you want to come in there? Is it Lindy?
Finty.
Finty. Lindy, Finty. Finty. Come and stand here, Finty.
Stand.
Yep,
Alright.
stand.
Stand.
Stand right there. I've got Finty to stand
I've never seen this before.
so that we can, because it's too difficult, you know?
Because of the length.
Because of the length, yeah.
And very short.
She's not too short. About there. That's where I want to go. Chin down, Finty. So now wide teeth the comb, scissors only. I don't need to wet the hair down now. Nice juicy section. Healthy. It's like right to the top of the ear. Just clean that up. Section it, clip it. Hair down. That's a pre-existing length right here. So now let's just strengthen that.
Everyone's calling your hair beautiful.
Thank you.
You can't see it, I've got a hat on. You can't see I've got my hat on. So there you go, comb it down. Rest, rotate. And let's just point cut. Only the thumb moves. Only the thumb moves. And therefore you can just rest the finger on this, the shaft on this, and you move like so. Make sure that the head is in the right position, and it is. And we're just doing a little bit of point cutting, and you want to kind of come in almost exactly the opposite way, so you're kind of hitting the hair at the exact same angle. You're not coming across the hair this way, you're just using the tips of the blades just to connect. Next section down, it's 2 sections. You want to do this quickly. This is a weird position for clients when they have their chin lightly tucked and they're standing up. It can be a position that somebody can faint. So we know that it's very strange. So when you're asking your client to stand up to cut the length, go fast. You don't want to be stood up for more than 7 or 8 minutes, tops. Let's comb the hair down. Voila, take a seat please, Godge. And while I've got my scissors, I'll do a quick scissor check, which is something that I like to do, especially when I first started to cut with a razor. I used to always do this, and I was teaching last week. I teach on a Friday morning. And it's a great way just to, well, I like to refer to it as sealing the cuticle. It's like a little check-in to make sure that I got everything the way I wanted it. Because now the length's there, I can just refine it. Just a few sections before we then start to set the hair for the style. So again, point cutting, these scissors are 6-inch. Comb the hair up, right the way through. Drop the elbow, just refine. Don't want to be applying any more moisture to the hair now, because it's kind of getting towards styling time. And then you just allow that hair, and you can kind of see what we've created. It's the same feel as the image, but with longer layers. Because I did that other cut. It's going to go in the window too. We photographed it for the window.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember we did a shoot here, March the 3rd?
That seems like another lifetime.
And then you ran away upstate with like 10 guys and a band. Yeah?
And like 20 farm animals.
And 20 farm animals. And how is your boyfriend now?
Good.
Good answer. That was a good answer, wasn't it, eh? You can fake it with the mask on. So I'm going to do something a little different with the styling, just to show you a different way. I'm going to blow dry it with no product in, and then I'm going to use the power of the product to show you how to make the style look good. We're going to go with a natural texture. So I'm going to power dry it. Kind of sounds a bit weird, but I'm actually going to go through with products later. Now there is product in the hair already. We washed with American Wave. That's our shampoo. It's called Repair. Used to be called Rogue, but I got into a lawsuit for that, so I had to change the name. And the golden rule in the lawsuit is whoever's got more money usually wins. So I changed the name from Rehab to Repair. I use submerged conditioner to detangle the hair, and then I've been using hydro mist in the hair, so it makes the hair, gives the hair that nice shine and finish, along with the shampoo and conditioner. Is that my lady? Sit her in this, in the third one, yeah.
So good.
Looks good, yeah? Okay, so this is coming out soon. Feel how light my hairdryer is.
What?
I didn't like that.
Wow.
It's like literally an iPhone is heavier than this.
Yeah.
So this is coming out, it's Italian. It's got the ionic on and off button. It's obviously got the power shot, the cold air, 2 buttons, and the dryer actually has all the bells and the whistles. And a lot more affordable than a Dyson. And I like it because it's lighter than a Dyson. So I'm just power drying the root, because the wetness is only in the root. Half the time being a good stylist is about managing your day. You manage your day well, you win. You manage your day poorly, you don't win. Notice I'm keeping the dryer inside the hair, and I'm keeping the dryer moving, because the high dryer gets nice and hot. On days like today, when you're like in August in the summer, and it's been a hot summer this year, you don't need too much. She doesn't need to have bone dry hair. Obviously in the winter she would. I'm going to send your client out. I'm just taking out the moisture. Yeah, not done yet, almost done. What we're going to do, and you can see the length, but what we're going to do is I'm going to take this off. So we're finished cutting. Let's take this off. She'll look more like a human being. There she is. She'll feel better too, a bit more comfortable. When you take your cape off, guys, don't throw it to the side, it's sloppy. Fold it up. Even just simple things like this make you look more professional, you know? And you look professional, you can charge more. When you look professional, people, you know, respond better to that. And I like to keep everything in my station, especially now in, you know, COVID land. Oh, my microphone cable. There you go. Now let's go over to the product tray. This is how we do our products. They're sanitized at the start of the day and they're sanitized when they go back. So I'm going to load up. I got 3 products. I got my Refresh Dry Conditioner, I got my dry shampoo, and I've got my Glint. Texture and Shine Spray here. Dry shampoo is a thickener and a dry shampoo, and this is a dry conditioner. A dry conditioner adds silk. Silk, not shine. Texture, not moisture. And Glyn is texture and shine. So this is kind of like these two having a baby.
Okay.
These two went out with each other. They could have a little child.
Cute.
Yeah. So you hold them for me, love. Let's start first with a little texture. This fills the hair out. This dries the hair up. It's a clear spray that adds a bit of bulk. Into the root adds a little bit of grip, a little bit of just kind of like start. It's a bit like if you ironed a shirt, and then if you ironed a shirt and you sprayed it with a starch. So it just adds a little bit of starchy dryness to it. That's going to dial up her mane, because today is the day that people are going to notice she's had a haircut, because it was 1.5 years since she was cut last. And this is mainly root. I'm going into the roots here. Notice how it doesn't cloud the hair, so it can build the hair texture. And we're not, even though we're in the salon, this is not like, I'm just showing you products, how important they are. So that was the dry shampoo, and you can see what the dry shampoo does. It enables you to create a little bit more strength and structure in the hair. Now we just kind of break that in with our little fingertips. Head back, shake it. There you go. Just shaking it out from the root, not messing with the ends. All right, now what we'll do, dry conditioner. Dry conditioner, if you want to calm the hair down a little, it just silkens, adds a little bit more polish. See, you get like a little bit more polish, and you can just take it and very lightly just ribbon the hair. This is hydrolyzed keratin, so it strengthens the hair, softens the hair. The hair is made of keratin, so this dry conditioner just adds, you see the little bit of more definite, see the definition here than here.
Yeah.
We're just polishing a little bit of definition, but still giving it that beachiness. I'll do this side too. I don't usually dance around the chair, it's because I got this microphone on. I just don't want people thinking I'm a dancer. And I notice I take it very lightly, and I could spray the whole can on. It doesn't wet the hair, it just adds a little bit more of a satin finish. I'm just sharing products with you because guess what? This is the time when we need to actually sell products, make money, be successful. It's great for the beachy blondes. This is great for Kate. Yeah, those beachy blondes. Straight, just calms it down. Smells nice and clean. So if she doesn't wash her hair every day, this is a great. And she doesn't wash her hair every day. It's too much work. You can work right the way through. Kate's going to go outside and take some pictures, so we don't have to look at Silence of the Lambs when we see the picture. Yeah. That brings out the definition, and now just because we might as well, usually for clients, I don't focus on using more than 1 or 2 products. I listen to the client, I find out what the client uses, I find out what the client is looking for, and I usually do that very early on, so that then when I come to pick the products, I pick the products up and I'm kind of like telling the client what she needs. She's told me, I store the information. When it comes to product, then I can tell her. So this is Glyn, this is a little like It's going to add a little bit of sheen to the hair. It's a beachy wave and shine spray. It's like a very light spray wax. Smells nice, yeah? Elisa, can you see if there's someone that can do me a shampoo, please? Just go into the back. See if there's some help. Hey, Izzy. So this is that lived-in hair. Lived in hair, don't care. Thanks for tuning in
We'll post some after pics.
to Brooklyn Live, and Kate will take some pictures. Don't forget, I'll be next Tuesday night, 9 o'clock, Nick at 9. Stay tuned for our education calendar. We're going to start to build it now. Thanks for all your support, and let's get California. Let's talk about it more and more and try and drive these governors and these mayors and these towns, because I know that some of the counties are open. We need to drive and connect, get these salons open, because if I can do hair safely, why shouldn't they be able to do hair safely?
You're getting loads of hearts.
She's getting lots of love. Oh yeah, she got two.
That was,
Two.
you missed them. You missed the heart.
She got two. See you later.